people are interacting, all the design intent is met, and that the logistics of the project are met, the schedule and the budget and those type of things. But the coordination of all those elements is really my main role on the project.
That was very good. So,
my name is Scott Allen. I work with J.H. Allen Incorporated, and we are the general contractor on this project.
okay. Now this will be the volume.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So first, I guess starting off with the what has made this project so complex? What have been some of the problems that you've had?
This project covers such a large area of the campus.
I'm sorry, Todd. Can you do that again? I'm sorry. Can you start it from the beginning? Yeah, I can hear that. After this part, maybe.
So explain some of the complexities of
This project is scattered out over such a large area. We divided it up into several areas. One was an area called College Avenue, where we were redoing College Avenue, widening that, putting in new hardscape, new landscaping. A lot of the project was concentrated down here in Peabody Park, so doing a lot of steam work, a lot of new roads, a new bridge, several concrete bridges. But just the fact that the project is so spread out, we don't have a good central location to view all of that, so it's hard to monitor the subcontractors. It's just hard to keep your hands on everything that's going on. So that's been one of the complexities. Working on a project where a big bulk of the work goes right through the center of campus, and during class change, I haven't been out here during class change that many times, but it's just a lot of students out here getting from their dorms to their classes, and to get that volume of students across and through the project that we're trying to do demolition and new construction, that's affected the construction, but it's also affected the students and faculty too.
How have you met the seniors? How have we, you talked about the construction building classes and things like that as well. How have we solved some of the problems?
A lot of thought and planning obviously went into this job before it was ever put out to bid. One of the first things we did was put up some perimeter fencing. We'll talk specifically about College Avenue. Put up perimeter fencing around the perimeter of our project, but we still had to maintain pedestrian access across the project. And at different times throughout the project, we may have completed demolition of the roadway so that there's no nice corridor or pathway for the students to get across. So it involves temporary stone walkways, and involves some temporary handicap ramps to transitions from different elevations. So a lot of thought went into trying to isolate the project from the students, but still maintain their access through it. We've had a lot of coordination meetings where we've had to sit down and say, okay, we know you're working right here, but as a contractor, you need to give us access from this dormitory to this dormitory. So coordination meetings. We've done a lot of resequencing of our efforts where we may need to be working in this area, but there may be another contractor who's also working in that same spot on an unrelated project. So in our coordination meetings, we'll talk that, okay, at the end of this week, there's going to be another electrical contractor working on your site. What can y'all do to work around that? And Andy Upton, our superintendent, is really good at planning ahead and can say, okay, I can accommodate that. I'll stop my work here and we'll go down, beyond where they're working and resume what we're doing. So just, week in, week out coordination, planning, and cooperation with everybody.
Has that been one of the biggest challenges working on a college campus? Talking about specifics on some of the parts of the project. You said this is a huge project. So some of the things that are involved in this project.
Okay, we've talked about coordination. I'll give you a specific instance that shows the level of involvement on the parts of all the designers and the contractors. Up on College Avenue, one of the complexities of working on a university campus is the fact that the campus is so old. There are so many utilities in the ground that no one has any way of knowing where they are. And a lot of effort went into locating the known utilities and surveying those and getting those put on the drawings. But there's just a volume of utilities in the ground that nobody knows where they are. And throughout the demolition process and the installation of new utilities, we discovered a lot of these existing utilities that nobody knew about. And we kind of laugh and joke that, if you want to go find a new utility, just go stick a shovel in the ground. There's probably one there. But a specific instance on College Avenue, we had an existing steam line to abate there, and we would during demolition of the steam line, that would involve asbestos abatement. So it involves an asbestos designer, an asbestos abatement contractor, get the asbestos abated, then the mechanical contractor, quality mechanical contractors in this specific instance, they come through and perform the demolition of the pipe. But during that, we discover that there is additional there is additional steam piping in the ground that no one knew about. So a decision had to be made: do we continue with the demolition or do we stop? And then you have to sit back and figure out, okay, what's the university's budget? Do they have enough contingency left to deal with this additional demolition that possibly needs to be done? If they don't choose to do that, then the landscape designer has to sit back and think, okay, we've got a steam tunnel located in this area, and we know it's this deep, but we were planning on installing some large trees in this area with a root ball that's going to get down and grow on top of this particular steam tunnel. So then we have to think about shifting the road. We have to think about shifting landscape beds. So all of a sudden, something that was a simple demolition procedure, you have to get the asbestos contractor, you have to get the mechanical designer, the mechanical contractor, you have to get the landscape architect, you have to get the general contractor, us, to get involved with our subcontractor so we can get all this potential additional work priced and present that to the university so they can make their decision on how to proceed. So it's a simple issue like that suddenly creates something that affects dollars and affects time, and that's something that both the university and the contractor are both really interested in controlling.
What are some of the advantages to working on a college campus?
Advantages to working on a university campus, we've talked about a lot of the disadvantages. The advantage to J.H. Allen working on a university campus obviously is its proximity to our central office. Advantages to working on a university campus, there probably aren't a lot of advantages just to being on the campus itself. However, with UNCG, we do value our relationship with the people at University, UNCG Facilities Design and Construction. We also have a very good relationship with Kimley Horn and Associates, the engineer on this job. So I can't really say there's an advantage to working on the campus, but there are advantages to working with this particular owner and engineer.
Let's see. Project is taking longer than expected. And you were explaining some of the reasons for that. How is the, let's see if I can ask this right. How has the actual project been different from the planning of the project? How is the, this is what I'm saying. How has it gone differently this time than you expected it to go this time?
Let that truck get by.
Yeah, that's what
Okay. A lot of people ask us, has the project taken longer than anticipated? And don't want to sound like a politician, so I'm going to give you a straight answer. I'm going to say yes, the project has taken longer than anticipated, but I'm going to follow that up with a but. But we think we can get done within our adjusted contract time. There are several issues that have affected the lack of progress on the job. From the day the project started, we've encountered I think 2003 was the wettest year on record, and this project, all of it is outdoors. So if it's a rainy day, unless it happens to be a day that the mechanical contractor can weld underneath his tents, there's really no progress that can be realized on the job that particular day. And what a lot of people don't realize, when it rains on Tuesday and the sun comes out on Wednesday, contractors can't just jump right back into work, especially if that involves working with the soil, or if you had an excavation that you were going to pour concrete in, that excavation's full of water. So we're here working, but we're not doing things that are productive or on what we call the critical path of the job schedule. So the weather has played a huge factor in what we've done here or not been able to do. Another situation that we encountered, and there's no way of knowing this till you actually start digging, but in many of the excavations that Quality Mechanical has performed to install their steam piping or the steam manholes, they have encountered rock. And everybody knows that rock is hard, but the rock that we have encountered on this project is by far the hardest rock ever. And just for another particular on this project, new steam manhole 27, they started excavating for that steam manhole, and when they encountered rock, they brought in, I think it was a track hoe that weighed 70,000 pounds with a demolition hammer with either 7,500 or 10,000 pounds of braking capacity. And it took that demolition hammer, I think it was 2 months, to remove rock in an area approximately 20 feet square, 6 feet deep. So that's not a lot of volume of rock, but the rock was so hard it took 2 months to get out. So, situations like that obviously affect the progress of the job. There may have been some other parts of your question I didn't answer, did it?
Well, I was just saying, how is you plan for a project?
That's right, okay.
You were talking about how the planning was differing from what you actually, what was actually occurring here. Like you said, the pipes that were drawn.
Okay.
I was just wondering if how was your planning in other ways gone differently from what you encountered in the actual situation?
When we bid the job and found out we were low and developed our progress schedule, this job was set up on a 14-month schedule, and it's in the contractor's best interest to get out of here as quickly as possible, because if a contractor has 14 months worth of cost in a job and we stay here 16 or 18 months, we're losing, we're not making money, and that's we're in the business to do that. So when you come up with situations like rock or situations like weather that we have no control over, a lot of times we have to resequence our work.
You were talking about the differences between planning and working some of the weather and the
When we're faced with the challenges of the wettest year on record, when we're faced with the challenges of rock, and when we're faced with the challenges of utilities that nobody knew were there, we're constantly faced with having to resequence our work. And I mentioned one of the bad things about this project is that it's so spread out. That kind of is good too, because if we're unable to work in this area, chances are we can go down to College Avenue or into Peabody Park and find something to do. That's good for us because we're able to keep the job moving. It's good for our employees because we're able to keep them busy. And that's also one of the side effects of all the rain. If we don't have work for our employees to do, that's their life, that's their job, and if they can't work, they don't have money to bring home.
So that's one of the questions I was going to ask was on the list.